What's up, everybody? We're taking a trip back to the 80s and 90s where the Boombox reigned king and everybody loved them. Except for that guy. Bad childhood. Very long story. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. I am excited about this one because if you're like me, you were a child in the 80s and a teenager in the 90s, right? And the Boombox was everywhere. My dad was a DJ, and I believe we had a Sony or Panasonic or something else, I just can't remember, but it actually looked a lot like this one. The M90 was actually one of the more popular boomboxes out there. It was powerful. I remember seeing them here and there. I used to, run around the streets of Manhattan. A lot of people had these things, and especially where I grew up in Queens, everybody had a boombox out on the stoops. So this here is a mini replica from New Wave Toys. Now, if you remember, just recently we took a look at the Coke machine here. They did a 1/6 scale Coke machine. It actually vends. I'll put a link to that down below as well. I love that thing. And then when I saw that they had the M90 boombox, boy, did that bring back some serious memories. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I have to get that. Now, you can actually see here the box. They actually replicated the box too. Like, they didn't even have to go this far. Now, all right, let's get into this thing. Now, this one is called the M90 Mini Stereo Radio. Now, from what I understand, I can't wait to try this. This is actually a functioning radio, Bluetooth, and it comes with a little mini cassette, which doesn't actually work, but this thing is actually, it's usable. It's not just something you can put on a shelf. You can actually use this. All right, let's see what we got here. Wow. This is the same reaction I had with the Coke machine. Like, that's incredible. It's so small. So it actually comes with a service manual, which is basically like the user manual here. It looks like they replicated. Yeah, they replicated that style of manual, which is really awesome that they did. And here it's got all of the configurations and what all the buttons do. Now, the buttons actually do work as far as I understand, so we'll take a look at that really quick. All right, let's see all these little bits and pieces we have here. So this even comes with a wire remote. That was the one thing that used to drive me insane with the old VCRs and the TVs and the stereo systems, that the remote controls, and not that we knew much better at that time, but the remote controls were all wired, and I cannot even tell you how many times I tripped over a remote control and yanked the wire right out, or pulled the VCR right off the shelf, or knocked the stereo over because I tripped on this stupid remote. All right, and then looks like we have a USB-C. I believe this is a USB-C internal battery, so you have to charge everything up with this. The built-in battery here has 40 hours of playtime, and that is incredible. And this is where the fun begins. Man, I can't wait to see this. Oh. And this actually looks like a few extra knob pieces. From what I understand, these all work over here, the treble, bass, and stuff, but they are really tiny, and it looks like they did give us some larger things to connect to that. But I'm gonna leave this on the side for right now. This seems pretty easy to actually get to. This is actually a tiny, tiny little cassette tape. This thing is incredible. Now, it doesn't work, it's just for show. There's no movement or anything. It's probably not actually tape in there. It's probably just a piece of plastic. Come on. I can't believe how far they actually went with this. So cassette tapes used to come with these labels, and they actually printed out these labels. So you would write whatever the cassette was, peel it off, and pop it right across the top. They went all out completely. It's not even a joke. This is the era I grew up in. This was actually a piano demo that I put together back in, is there a year on this? 1998. So my dad actually saved this cassette. I didn't actually have one, but he saved this, and he gave this to me a few months before he passed away. He wanted me to have it back. But look at the size difference of that. That's incredible, man. But this really dates me. Like, this was one of my first demos that I ever put together. It's honestly just mind-blowing the amount of detail that they went out and they put together. Let's put that back in there for right now. I'm telling you, New Wave Toys completely outdoes themselves on everything. This is now the second thing I've bought from them, and I have been looking at their stuff for quite some time now. You know, this is not sponsored. I bought this, so it's like New Wave Toys actually blows my mind with the amount of detail and the price point that they come in. This was like 160 bucks or something like that. This actually has some nice weight to it. Now, let's do the peel. 2 and 3. Beautiful. I'm always kind of at a loss for words when I see things from my childhood that I remember sitting on shelves, and, you know, a version of it in my dad's room or something, a version of it that I had, you know, and, you know, it's been gone for so long, and then to see them come back and something like this that makes a great collectible for the shelf, it's just great memories. Now, let me just give you a quick idea of how big this actually is. We're looking at 11¼ inches long by, it looks like about 6 inches high. And the cassette is coming in at 1½ inches. So we have your power switch here. We have some actual buttons here. We have our eject. So let's get this thing powered up and see what this sounds like. That's pretty cool. Nice. Then we have our eject button. Pop our cassette right on in there. Close her up. So this is actually a Bluetooth radio. So let's see if we can get this hooked up and get a feel of what this sounds like. Let's see if it pops up here. There we go. So down here it says Mini M90. All right, sounds like we're connected. And let's actually pull up one of my own songs so I don't get a copyright hit. Wow. Okay, can I just tell you that this little thing sounds really, really good. Now, we've got full control over the treble, the bass, the balance from left and right here. We have a volume control that is functional. It doesn't seem like anything else here actually works, which is fine. I mean, a lot of it's just for display. We actually have a tape counter, if you can see that. You know, again, the tape doesn't move or anything. All right, so here's another song of myself. That way I don't get copyright strikes on myself. Would I? I don't think so. Lying awake at night, talking to the Holy Ghost. It's got some really nice volume to it too. Wiping the tears away, don't know where the time has gone. Bass, treble, all work. If you want me to believe in anything, wow. Tell me your secrets, tell me your lies. Wow, this thing sounds incredible. I can't believe that. Give me a reason to let you inside. Tell me your secrets. All right, guys, I am absolutely blown away by the sound quality. They did not pull any punches on making this thing here. So down over here we have a modes button where we can switch back and forth between Bluetooth and radio. So this is actually a functioning radio too. Let's see what we can get here. All right, so you'll see that the radio comes on, and this should be our dial. Oh, it also has antennas. These things are God. Now, I don't want to stay on anything too long because I don't want any kind of music giving me any copyrights or anything. And let's try out the remote control. I'm thinking these days maybe I won't trip on this thing. All right, so down over here, it looks like this is where this little jack will go. Now let's see if we can get back into Bluetooth. All right, so this thing hooks right into Bluetooth. It's very, very easy. All right, so we're gonna use a couple of my own demos to kind of flip through this and see what the remote control does here. So we have the power, we have mode, we have play, pause. Works beautifully. And then we have forward and backwards. So let's see, we push forward. Yep, there we go. And it works perfectly. This is incredible. Now, there's no volume on here, so I'm assuming that's just pretty much how it used to be. So let's just pop the volume up over here. Watching the rain fall by myself. Now you can see like the meters here don't move. They would have moved on the original one. You know, it's just for show. These little buttons here, they don't do anything. They're just for show. That's just for show here, and all of these little buttons don't do anything either. They're just for show. Now, they gave us these extra little knobs if you wanted to put them over here. Now, I have absolutely no problem getting to these knobs, but you can pop these on right on top if you just want to make them a little bit more user-friendly to the finger. But I don't like the way that looks. And I have absolutely no problem getting to the buttons themselves, so I'm not gonna have those on there at all. I'll pop those back in the box. Now, taking a peek at the back, we have a little latch here where the batteries would have gone, but it's empty, so I think you could probably just like store your wires or your remote control or something in there. I'll do that a little bit later so I can kind of wind it up nicely. And over here we have a USB, a USB-C, we have a micro SD, which you can actually load your MP3s, and right next to that we have a 3.5mm auxiliary, and over here it does say it's an input jack, so you could probably put some kind of third-party audio input or maybe even a microphone into that little jack right there. Now, another cool feature is that, I don't know if the microphone's gonna be any good at all, but it does have a built-in microphone. You can actually see the memo app here on my phone picking up the mic. Now, I'll bring this a lot closer to my mouth, and you'll probably see it really clip out because I am right up against the microphone on the stereo there. So you can see it's really, really clipping out. And then I'll move it further away, and then we're actually back to a more normal wave file there, but you can actually see that this is picking up a Bluetooth signal for that. Now, I can't imagine this being any sort of quality microphone in there, but we'll take a listen back to that memo. Really clip out because I am right up against the microphone on. So yeah, like I figured, it's not anything of quality, but it's there if you needed to make some quick memos. And I think last but not least, the handle. They actually gave us the smoothest retractable handle on earth. I'm assuming that's what the M90 originally did, but that, man, is that smooth. Now that is about it for the M90. This thing is incredible. They did such a fantastic job making the quality of this thing, from the build quality to the audio quality. I am super impressed with this whole thing. And this isn't something I'm just gonna put on display or anything. I'm actually gonna use this for my own personal little Bluetooth stereo system here in the studio. All right, that is about it. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. I'll put a direct link down below for you if you wanna check this thing out. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I'm gonna do more retro videos, more figures, more lightsabers, so you don't wanna miss any of it. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.